Hello class, my name is Nicholas Sen and I will be discussing Six Sigma Lean concepts and how they are applied to the Week 5 article, The Lean Service Machine. The Six Sigma principle is a way of minimizing wastage and defects in the whole process of doing business. The Six Sigma method is concerned with defects and their variation. The technique determines the causes of each defect and then recommendations for control are implemented, thereby resulting in an improved quality of products. This process of checking and controlling occurrence of defects results in continuous improvement. Products and services produced under a Six Sigma system should therefore be, as much as possible, defect-free. Lean system is concerned with the speed and stock management. The process is focused on the overall efficiency of processes. Lean Six Sigma combines the two systems to optimize the advantages that come with each. The resultant system is that of the minimal wastage and quick and efficient operations. The outcome is a powerful, continuous improvement system that makes the business both efficient and effective in its operations. First, we have three forms of waste in Six Sigma Lean concept. These are MUDA, non-value-added tasks, MURA, referring to inconsistencies, and MURI, which means excessive strain, stress, and strain. By getting to understand MUDA, MURA, and MURI, a business is in a better position to eliminate them from their processes. From the Lean Service Machine case presented in Week 5, we find that research revealed considerable differences in the quality of existing services. For instance, a statement from an attending physician was required to process a new policy applications, and the whole process took 1 to 2 months. The processing periods for applications that didn't necessitate the physician's statement were even more variable, posting a standard deviation slightly above 35%. Variations in processing times undermine the value of the policy's generally shorter turnarounds. The arising errors caused almost 10% of the program application to be reviewed and repeated. Because of all errors, this time lost in reworking constituted waste. The next set of vocabulary is 3G, Gemba, Genbutsu, and Genjutsu. These three mean that business process decisions need to be taken and implemented in a real place, established on real phenomenon, and based on real data, respectively. As seen in the JPF case presented, the initiative delivered impressive results. The company halved the average time from receipt of the Premier Partner application to the issuance of the policy, reduced labor costs by 26%, and trimmed the rate of reissue due to errors by 40%. These outcomes contributed to remarkable 60% increase in the new annualized life premiums in the company's core individual life insurance business in just 2 years. Therefore, we see that the decisions that followed the results were implemented in a real place, aimed at a real phenomenon, and based on real data. Hoshin-Conry refers to the goal planning. This is a process of carving out organizational vision. Goals are to be shared with all stakeholders to ensure success. When all employees are working towards attainment of envisioned goals, the business is very likely to be successful. By examining the case, we found that at JPF, the metric for the CEO's performance is the ratio of the company's total acquisition expenses to the value of new paid premiums. The sales productivity directly affects this measure. As productivity increased, the acquisition expenses eventually decreased, and employee inputting applications evaluated by the number of applications he or she inputted per hour, and the input team's manager is assessed on the hourly number of applications the team entered. The input manager's boss, the new business assistant vice president, is assessed according to the productivity of the input team and on the other steps in the process. These productivity rates effective metric for the VP in charge of new business, a measure that is the same as the performance metric for the CEO. Thus, the CEO's success is directly linked to each frontline worker's productivity. In this way, JPF has spread accountability and rewards throughout the system, rather than concentrating them at the top. So the concept of Hoshin-Conry is clearly stated. When workers are grouped into smaller groups, let's say 10 workers per group, and they are voluntarily managed, then they have Jishu-Conry. The main idea behind Jishu-Conry is that people within a business have better solutions to technical issues in their areas of work than outsiders would have. When workers are involved in solutions, they are more likely to support new solutions. Jishuken refers to the independent study groups. These groups examine the various types of waste and how they affect overall production. The main objective is elimination of waste and making the process flow better. The Six Sigma Lean principle of Kaikaku refers to reengineering. This helps in improvements required for the future and is related to business process reengineering, BPR. The principle of Jishuken is evidenced in the JPF case by the fact that in late 2000, on the advice of the consulting firm, JPF appointed a 5-person lean team to re-engineer the new business operations according to the principles of lean production. The team included the assistant vice president of new business administration and a special project manager who reported directly to the senior vice president overseeing new business operations. They were supported by 3 lean production experts from a consulting firm. Thus, the team combined an in-depth knowledge of JPF processes with an understanding of the lean production principles. Heijunka is used to refer to the process of production sequencing. The idea is to optimize production by producing small batches of items in the same production line. This reduces waste by eliminating side works. Production pattern as a result of Heijunka is flexible and accommodates different batches of customer orders. JPF notices that the lean production is built around the concept of continuous flow processing, a departure from the traditional production systems, in which large batches are produced at each step and are passed along only after an entire batch has been processed. At any given time, most of the batch in the traditional system is sitting waiting to be processed. In other words, it is costly, excessive inventory. Kanban means visual card, which is used to denote what needs to be done and when it needs to be accomplished. Notes on pending works gives the employees the work situation and what needs to be done. JPF displayed the sales hourly productivity rates along with the company's expectations. The numbers were posted on large whiteboards so that all employees could see when and where, and therefore why, performance was suffering. Nagara means carrying out simultaneous operations, which means doing 2 or more activities in motion. The perfect scenario of Nagara is depicted by a seamless and coordinated flow of production. The positive achievement in Nagara brings to the business processes minimizing motion, hence reducing the waste. The overall effect is the flexibility and production operations. At JPF, they made changes in all 7 dimensions simultaneously, and each improvement in each dimension was reinforced by improvement in others. Poka-yoke refers to this idea of shielding a defect already identified from reoccurrence. Poka-yokes are the devices used for the role mentions above. By implementing Poka-yoke, the business process achieved better quality of products, reduced customer complaints, less wastage of material, reduced costs, and gained competitive advantage over rivals in the market. From the JPF case presented, the defect was a loopback. We find that work returned to a previous step for further processing and typically created delays. In a manufacturing setting, if a machine in a stamping process is used in a subsequent step as well, 2 flows of work feed into a machine at once, limiting the speed of the overall process and causing inventory to build up in front of the machine. TAC means speed of rhythm, and the business process it refers to the frequency of customer demand. TAC time is the ratio of available operating time to production requirement. This concept looks at the desired cycle of time that process takes as opposed to the actual time cycle. The advantage that comes with the principle of TAC is that business is able to better evaluate the demand and match the resources required to satisfy the requirement. As in the case of JPF, the lean team members timed each work element of the model cell, such as retrieving an application from an inbox and performing the keystrokes required to get an application into the system. They established a baseline time for each element by determining how quickly an untrained person could do it. When challenged employees to make improvements and create shorter baseline times. As workers found ways to cut unnecessary tasks, the lean team determined the minimum number of employees required for the completion of all steps. And this, my friends, has been a somewhat brief overview of Six Sigma Lean and how Jefferson Pilot Financial applied those principles in providing a more efficient business process. Thank you, and go Devils.